Chalet, Enzo Maresca, first first 3 game weeks of the season, player of the match. I mean, coach of the month. That is huge. That is very, very, very huge power for Enzo Maresca because nobody expected that to happen, especially given what Chelsea has gone through as a club and it was Sanya Manu. Nobody really expected all of those things to happen. But there you have it. Enzo Maresca and the boys now delivering on the front of everything that they had to do. Joao Pedro. And so he has been nominated as the player of the month of the first month of the English Premier League season. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much, Pastor, who are subscribing to channel and joining us on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Out here, you're among the best in terms of football analysis. On the field, off the field, Bibiano, bro. If you've not subscribed to the channel, subscribe, turn on notification. In the notification turn on, Michelle, do choose all. Just so anytime there is content here, you are first to have it on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Very, very imperative. Say, obey Bibisa, come, pab. But first off, let me say a big thank you to the two people who have made a show a possibility. First off, yes, most spare part dealership shop. Makani several times. When it's about spare parts, I will come and say, especially for the latest cars, nobody else than Yusumu. Range Rover, Highlander, Acura, Honda, BBR spare parts. Aboso kind post office, that's where he is. If you are in Accra, then just drive there. Oh, yeah, just drive a car. Aboso kai keke. Nama Yusumu take care of you. But se uni Accra, not say oh anywhere, even far away from Aboso kai post office. Anyone Yusumu to take care of you, Obayama. He does what he calls the nationwide delivery. Nationwide delivery. Yes, Sumo will take very, very, very good care of you, pa. To your fast, Marco, yes, Mona BB and your come. Or again, Oceana, so yeah, you saw best any BBA Eddie Amahon. But first off, let me also say another thank you to MOB Clothing. MOB Clothing. You see this jacket we are the wear. Or some nice jackets, nice tops, clean stuff. Gerald and any man will take very good care of you, Michelle. Just go to MOB Clothing. Now, yes, Mona Manasa, yes, Mona Mane 059-313-8221. 059-313-8221. And MOB Clothing number is 0200 668-708. 0200-668-708. Michelle, for Gerald and my Mrs. Yeah, let them take very, 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 very good care of you, pa. As you can see, it's some sort of a new background. By far part of the larger growth. And this is just a test transmission of the Fiifi-Manfred studios, where the 4 Post podcast now. When we say about Monte, you don't come on. That's where we are bringing people in there. Live. Richardo was right there with everybody. You didn't come up with a team of 4 Post podcast now. And of course, some of my videos I'll also be shooting from here to get clearer sound, to make things also better for you. Very soon, you'll be seeing the podcast mics and everything creeps as a Fiifi-Manfred. So thank you to you. And we've got the ability to be able to get here. But you didn't come up. It's our football. First off, I don't know if anybody felt, say, you best start the Premier League season, Now you bought 3 games. And yet just because Enzo Maresca has been nominated as the manager of the month. But the team Chelsea have come into the season and in 3 games, only unbeaten. And before the last round of games near boy, it was just Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Arsenal pay. And then they are unbeaten our games. So if you look at where they've been able to come to and things that are going on here, it is very, very good stuff for Enzo Maresca and Manchester. Because in 3 matches, they have 7 points. Second place in English Premier League. Last season by this time, Enzo Maresca started his season, in the first game against Manchester City, Olusuye. And then subsequently, they had to grapple and see how far they could go with respect to how but now they've gotten the job done. It is clear with the first 3 games, Enzo Maresca, the set up by the list of the Premier League manager of the month, and they are there Enzo Maresca as the Premier League manager of the month. Very, very, very interesting stuff. Now, Enzo Maresca, of course, Arne Slot of Liverpool was right there in the Premier League Manager of the Month awards. He was right there as well. There was also Oliver Glasner, part of the managers that unbeaten our Premier League. They were also part of the people who were unbeaten in English Premier League in the first few games. And then of course, Abrantia, your friend Anna Slot was out there as well. Rex Lebris, that is the coach of Sunderland. You promote you for English Premier League, English lower divisions, and they came this season and they played very well. I think in one of the games they beat West Ham United by 3-0 or so. And then the last game out against Brentford, they beat them. So these are two Premier League teams that were already in the league. Sunderland came in and got a job done. And it tells you how much of a quality team that Sunderland is, because trust me, if you know the quality of this club, if you know the quality of how difficult it is to move from relegation, lower divisions, to come to the Premier League and come and deliver, it's difficult in terms of money, in terms of preparation, a lot of things, and you're very, very difficult to be able to do. But Sunderland, have been able to do that, and their manager, your friend Regis Lebris, and they've gotten the job done. They played 3 games, and all of the 3 games in English Premier League, has been very, very successful. Of course, there is Anna Slot, defending champions, and Anna Slot has won the Premier League opening 3 games, 3 out of 3. I mean, he didn't drop a single point from Anna Slot. And Makan Assembly several times said, Anna Slot has shocked me as a manager, because the jump from the Eredivisie in the Dutch Eredivisie, for you to come to the English Premier League is very steep. But this is a man that has essentially jumped from the Eredivisie and come into the English Premier League, and he's dominating back to back. No Sheway or Arsenal, no both here. And you see, all of us who are analysts have said that the Liverpool team is probably not the most flamboyant team that you will get in the league. But again, they seem to find a way almost every time. Every time they are getting the job done. Every time they are finding the way. And that is, for me, pure quality from Anna Slot. For you to be able to set up a team like this, where it's not too flamboyant, it's not too always nice, it's not always the right way in winning games, but then they find a way to get a job done. It tells you how much of a solid teamer Anna Slot have been. I was telling you about Sunderland for a game, in the last time that they played against Brentford. They did win over there. They also beat West Ham United. And Burnley and Obolusu by 2-0. But these are 2 very important games. In the English Premier League, and has put them in a very, very good position going on into the rest of the season. My manager, your friend Regis Lebris got in the job, and of course David Moyes, David Moyes, Everton team, at the tail end of last season. To be very honest, I think that David Moyes doesn't get the credit that he has to get as a manager. He doesn't get it, because when it comes to middle table teams, manager wins in Kakaka. I think David Moyes does a decent job, because when he took over Everton, they had struggled under their elsewhere manager. In fact, Sean Dyche was struggling with Everton team. Nobody could see where they were going to. Like Obiashe Everton team now, Bono, Senomo Bono. How are they going to be? Was it sustainable? That style of football under Sean Dyche wasn't sustainable. And David Moyes, who had coached Everton before, prior to he going to Manchester United, had come in and taken over the job at team my friend Everton. And when he came, he delivered. Obai from last season's time, now it's a relegation struggle, back to back, and today he has gotten the job done. Osha English Premier League, opening game against Leeds United, Obolusu by 1-0. Since then, almost Brighton and Hove Albion 2-0. And Combo EFL Cup, Eshe Mansfield United 2-0. And Wolverhampton Wanderers away from home. Under Jose Pereira, where last season we kept on saying that Jose Pereira was one of the top teams in English Premier League. He went away from home and he got a job done. So you will give credit to Abrante and David Moyes for the job that he has done at Everton, especially when they moved on onto a new stadium. And again, of course, Anna Slot. See, if you look at the investment that Liverpool have done, it's difficult for anybody to compete against them. And I think that Anna Slot is doing the right thing in building a team, getting them consistent and getting them to deliver. I mean, first man, I think he deserves it automatic on open all 9/9. But Angel Maresca, so when I said it the last time, said in the game against Crystal Palace, very, very difficult game. And when you look at the nomination for Premier League Manager of the Month now, if you also look at the difficulty of games, and that's why I think the Liverpool will get it, because Arsenal, Moya, they are there. It's going to be easy for them to go and get a job done. But when you look at the conversation around Angel Maresca and Maresca becoming the manager of the season, and I say he being nominated now, it is from the difficulty in games that he has played. I know that it's easy for people to say it's a Crystal Palace match and your match. But one of the things and my own analogies why I think that it's difficult for London teams to be able to win the English Premier League is because you play a lot of London derbies. Ubebo London Derby, Brighton, Ubebo London Derby, Fulham, Ubebo London Derby, Villa. At some point, Villa is in the Midlands, but it's considered a London close to the London area. Ubebo London Derby, Arsenal, Ubebo London Derby, Tottenham Hotspur, Ubebo London Derby, Brentford, Ubebo London Derby, Crystal Palace. Difficult. And for him to play his opening 3 matches, one in that game against Crystal Palace, going in there to go and get a draw, difficult match. Oh boy, without your senior centre back in Liverpool going off, you have to improvise. The game ended 0-0. Then in the second game against West Ham United, you go down by go to 0, tweak the system a little bit, win the game by 5-1. And then the big one, when you play against Fulham, aside all of the controversy, you realize that it was a professional performance. And they be asking when we catch a Chelsea fan say, if this Fulham game was the game Chelsea played last season, last 2 seasons, and the elsewhere managers are, Chelsea would have lost 1-0. In case of my born wadre side, the long ball BS Yomachi, the 1-0 near upon. But it is manageable. Chelsea have managed to reduce last season Chelsea conceded 43 goals per. And ocean number of goals that Chelsea are conceded in the 3 games that they played that they conceded just 1. Liverpool already this season conceded 2 against Newcastle, conceded 2 against Bournemouth. They didn't concede against Arsenal. So if you look at the solidity in the defense, Enzo Maresca, it tells you strongly that he is able to deliver in terms of the solidity of the team. Defensive solidity, when you are playing against teams, it's difficult for you to beat them. It's difficult for you to even score a goal against them. And for me, that is a brilliant way of managing and how Enzo Maresca have done. In fact, player development in that Chelsea team has also been spot on. Look at Toby said Trevor Chalobah. Trevor essentially has become one of the best centre backs in the English Premier League and also for Chelsea most especially since January by consistent performance. And it is Enzo Maresca's tutelage. And almost said Jumana called me. Yes, I know that Enzo Maresca most likely doesn't win the player, the manager of the month, El Honom. But again, it's good news. So he has been nominated. It shows how much of a good work and who Chelsea for websites now. They have put him up and they've said, Charlie, that is good stuff from Chelsea for him. When it comes to the big one, player of the month, excellent stuff also. And there is also an inclusion. I don't know if anybody ever believed, say, your best 30 season, and Joao Pedro was going to go on and become get the nomination for player of the month. And you see, I am beginning to fall in love with Joao Pedro and his mindset because why hear some interviews since he went to Brazil for camp, and they are very interesting things to listen to. They are very, very interesting things for you to even talk about with respect to Nsema all camp, what he wants to become, how he wants to become it. They are very interesting. In the player of the month nominations, there's Ricardo Calafiori from Arsenal. There is Hugo Ekitike, another top player since he came in. Jack Grealish also has found new life at Everton under David Moyes. There is Mark Guehi, solid guy, centre back quality. He hasn't lost a game also at Crystal Palace. And I think he has kept about 2 or 3 clean sheets already. And almost a very, very long run of unbeaten run. Crystal Palace under Branty and Oliver Glasner. There is also Ellen Brot-Haaland, who is playing very well under Manchester City. Although, Lucio, my last game, by game, you give them the credit. Antoine Semenyo, quality for Bournemouth. And of course, Domenico Szoboszlai. And finally, Abrantia, your friend is Joao Pedro. Domenico Szoboszlai, signing free kick, no boy in the Charlie. It's getting everybody talking. I said the last time, see, everything that Joao Pedro is doing today, I didn't expect it. I don't know if anybody else expected it. I think that if you look at the things that is going on with Chelsea and how he came in more or less, like I've always said, to be a second striker, not to be the main striker. And even at some point, I felt like he could be a backup from the left-hand side or even as a number 10. But he has come in and he has hit the ground running. Or Bobo, no, deliver, or shake goals, or like he's been solid in that regard. Or Juma. And that is exactly what Chelsea expected for him. To score that goal, a header against West Ham, equalizer, and score another one against Team Friend in Fulham, also a header. To put Chelsea on that level and give them that consistent performance, I think has been very, very interesting for Brantia, your friend Joao Pedro, and he has been very important. I don't think that there's a single Chelsea player who, for one, before the season started, came in and said, "Oh, we are very confident that Chelsea were going to do that." No, and he has won the Chelsea Player of the Month. Washe 4 goals and assists in 2 matches, or a goal against West Ham, an assist for Pedro Neto against West Ham, an assist for Chaloba against West Ham, and a goal versus Fulham as well. So 4 goal involvement in just 2 matches, 3 matches, sorry, our English Premier League game. And you could tell the quality of a branch here friend Joao Pedro. This morning, he spoke about Estevao Willian. On Bisan about Joao Pedro, what he brings to the team, and it's animal. When also Charlie, on the he wants to make sure that at the end of the day he's winning. When they asked him about Estevao Willian, he mentioned said the people keep on asking about Estevao Willian. Ebia, mean the quality of where Estevao Willian is free back. That although he's not shocked because Estevao Willian came from the street. He used to play in the street, and once he was playing in the street, he got a job done El Horm, and that is why he is a good player. El Horm, he has been excellent. He came from a low place, and he's getting the job done. El Horm when it comes to Brentia, your friend Estevao, Brentia, your friend is Joao Pedro El Horm. So I mean, it's good. It's good radars for him. It's good stuff for Brentia, your friend Estevao. We are on international duty. Everything seems to be going on. Or say, I brought Babe PMO or Chelsea, he was a little bit worried because now he didn't know how Cole Palmer was going to take things because how are things going to look like? You are coming from Brighton, and like you said, when he was coming from Brighton, he was one of the best players out of Brighton. He was the main guy out of Brighton. He wasn't playing second fiddle to anybody out of Brighton and Hove Albion. No, Babe PMO or Chelsea, now he was worried if maybe Cole Palmer will be a little bit jittery. This is what he said. He said, when I arrived in the USA, Enzo Maresca said, I want you as a number 9. Old number 9s held it up. We're physical. My style is different. I am very good in 1 versus 1 and can pass, get assists, and score. I am more than number 9 who can play as a number 10. I play in small spaces. That's what he said. Now, he goes on and he talks about the fact that, or say, even for him, when he arrived at the US of A, not a branch friend Cole Palmer was there. He didn't know how Cole Palmer was going to take things. So, according to him, he told Cole Palmer, said, Cole, I have come here to help you. I have come here to help you. I say, any small catch Cole Palmer said, oh no, I'm back for any form of competition. And I said, Bisa, he just came into the team. So, Babe Boa, a branch friend Cole Palmer, for Cole Palmer to be able to deliver our horn. Now, Omo Bisa also about a branch friend Estevao Willian. I say, playing for Brazil and Chelsea at age 18. Oh my God, he's going to be like Vinny Jr. That's what they keep on saying for Abranti friend Estevao Willian because Obo for Brazil at age 18 now, that is huge. And yet, it means that you are a top level player. And if you're able to play for Brazil at that young age, then people believe that you're a very, very good player. In fact, it looks as if today everybody is just talking about Abranti friend Joao Pedro because that interview is going viral because FIFA Club World Cup couple have posted a branch friend Joao Pedro, and they believe that he has been probably, current players are, and then they have been all over the news for the good reasons for a branch friend Joao Pedro. We are definitely going to see how things are going to pan out from there when it comes to Joao Pedro and then interview Kokoye, and then see how things are going to pan out from there. Is it going to work for a branch friend Joao Pedro? Is it not going to work for Joao Pedro? How are Chelsea going to utilize a branch friend Joao Pedro in the right way for him to be able to deliver in everything that he's done? It's very, very important. We'll see how things are going to go on from there. Chelsea for young player friend Mark Gill, or a Barcelona player, and he has been talking about what happened when he joined Chelsea, Enzo Maresca as a manager and stuff like that. Or say he doesn't regret moving from Barcelona to go and play in Chelsea. I don't know for that. I don't know if that is really the right thing to say there, but then McGee said he doesn't. Amusan said, why are Chelsea good? You know, see, Chelsea are one of the best teams in the world at the moment. They have a squad and player by player, it's incredible. Maresca is very good. And when we go out on the pitch, we know what we want to do. The opponent has nothing to do. Hey, McGee. I say, oh, your view. Then he goes on and says, this is the manager that a lot of people wanted to be sacked last season. Again, McGill saying Enzo Maresca top as a manager and gives them exactly like he wants. They asking, almost say, on facing a former club Barca in the Champions League. Also, it's going to be a special match. the match of my life. Hopefully, I will get minutes. I've already told Kubasi that I'll blow it up, although I wouldn't celebrate a goal. Magiu, top guy. I don't believe you, pa. I said I catch up Kubasi chief. Yeah, back in Stanford Bridge already. Yeah, now 2-0 is a. He says that Chelsea are a good team. That's exactly what Maggie is saying. I say, I don't regret leaving Barca. I left because I thought it was the best thing for my career, and that I have to do now is to enjoy the Premier League. It was a difficult season. Barca gave me everything. It was my home. There were a lot of strikers, and they didn't guarantee me to be in the first team. So I think I chose the best option. Maresca called me and told me that they trusted me, and the sporting project was incredible. I didn't get to talk to Flick. He sent me a message when we were playing in the playoffs. That's exactly what he was saying. McGill, the key to Chelsea is the unity and the work of the coach. He works very well tactically. The training section is intense. I am sure he has influence from Guardiola. The training sessions are very similar to those of Barca, with a lot of ball and a lot of positional play. That is what Abranti friend McGill I mean, we'll see from the and now. So a couple of weeks ago, Chelsea Forum were saying say Chelsea have to sell players to be able to make sure say they can register Champions League players and all of those things. The updates came from Uefa the last time. Uefa Forum have now confirmed that Chelsea have successfully balanced their transfer spending this summer to comply with the terms of the settlement agreement for breaking the financial fair play rules. Obekaya, Abrana Chelsea, HAC, Javi Simons, any other. One of the things I kept on saying was that they have to balance the books. And in balancing the books, they should be able to make sure say they sell the players on board in the conference league knockout stages now before they'll be able to bring in more players. And in fact, and now in a statement from UEFA Forum confirms that Chelsea Forum have done it successfully. Almost 31 million euros no, in July, and then of course, Oma balancing books. No. And again, Chelsea Forum have made more profit from player sales. If you ask yourself why Facundo Buonanotte, Chelsea could not register him, and this is the reason. Because Abrantia, your friend Tyree George could not be sold. So, last part of the season, not Chelsea person turned Tyree George. Now, again, another player ball last season in Chelsea Conference League, has also retained. And that is Abrantia friend McGill. McGill was in Chelsea's last season Conference League knockout stages. He had retained because of Liam Delap injury. So, you took McGill on loan. McGill on loan now. Easily could have replaced him with a branch friend Facundo Buonanotte. But because McGill had come back, and Chelsea also on the deadline day were close to selling Tyreek George to Fulham, but they didn't materialize it. It means that you could not register a branch friend Facundo Buonanotte. Something had to give. And it was you can register Tyreek George with a B list, but you can't register Facundo Buonanotte to the B list. What it means that from now till January, Chelsea will hope to be able to find a way of either taking McGill back to Sunderland, to Sunderland for the loan, or to be able to make sure say they get a branch friend Tyreek George also sold, so they can replace him with a branch friend Facundo Buonanotte in that regard. I mean, there seems to be some very, very good vibes and good news out of Chelsea want to come, because when you play out the month nomination, UEFA want to clear Chelsea. All of them seems to be very, 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 very good stuff. And of course, it's going to be one. Barca 4 are closing in on a contract extension for Abrantia, your friend of Frankie de Jong. I can't say several times. See, if it's about on the ball quality of a player in this modern day, Frankie de Jong is essentially one of the best players that you can bring in terms of ball recycling and ball juggling, all of those things. Frankie de Jong is exceptional, and he's a player Barca 4 are bringing on to be able to deliver in everything that he does, and that's exactly what Abrantia friend of Frankie de Jong is being able to do. Barca have intensified the contract extension. One year, who's a Barca want to return to the Munjik, but I said still they are not getting the full permission that they have to, and maybe even in the UEFA Champions League, the game against Paris Saint-Germain, one year to go to the Munjik. One year it's going to go at the Munjik and a Barca for beating my ball, because returning to the Spotify Camp Nou for the match against Valencia, according to Sport and then you may almost say practically impossible. Practically impossible. And see, that is exactly what is going on with Sport for when it comes to returning to the Spotify Camp Nou. Due to UEFA's restrictions, This scenario is very likely for Barca, according to Sport. Valencia versus at the Johan Cruyff, Getafe at the Camp Nou, and Paris Saint-Germain at the Montjuic. Wow, that's a lot of movement. Okay, it means that Barcelona will return to playing at the Spanish La Liga in that Getafe game. They will play at the Johan Cruyff in the game against Valencia when we return from the international break, and then play against Getafe at home at the Camp Nou. But then, of course, the stadium will probably not meet UEFA's requirement for European games, category A games. So then, obviously, means that that game against Paris Saint-Germain can go to the Montjuic over there for Football Club Barcelona. I mean, that is interesting for Barcelona with respect to stadium in Saint. I can't several times say, if Barca can really get out of the financial issues, they have to fully get back to the Spotify company, get all the gate proceeds and revenue from there, and also make some very, very good player sales in that regard. That is what will help Barcelona. The match against Paris Saint-Germain, like I said, may go to the Montjuic for Football Club Barcelona. Ronnie Baggy, Barca for young boy number 20 free Copenhagen. I say playing for the Barca B in the auction. So no. He believes that he will break through to the Barca A. It's a Barca and he has to dream. Say Ronnie Baggy. And he says that the club is fantastic, the city, the club, everything is different from Copenhagen. The dressing room feels like a family. I haven't experienced this vibe in any other team before. That is very, very good for our brand friend Rooney Baggy on the part of Football Club Barcelona. Juan Garcia can become one of the best deals in the country. Because Barca last few games of my boy. I think that is the best player. I mean, who La Liga player of the month? I mean, who Juan Garcia was Juan Garcia in the La Liga player of the month. Man, who La Liga did Juan Garcia did on La Liga player of the month. I was very, very surprised. But I think that he has been very instrumental. I mean, more instrumental than Lamine Yamal. Okay, Barca for Mujitum. He has been more instrumental than Lamine Yamal. So that is it for Abrantia friend Juan Garcia. There's the belief that he has been more instrumental than Abrantia, the friend of Lamine Yamal. Let me give you some breaking news. Daniel Levy, as he here today, he has been relieved of his duties. Our team, your friend Tony Amospe. Tony Amospe for Chifa. Why you Juma Honor for a very, very long time. No? He's not going to take over the job again. And we'll see how things are going to go on. Real Madrid for Antonio Rudiger fully returned from injury and is going to start against Tima, your friend Slovakia. And then you may for Abrantia, your friend Antonio Rudiger. Dean Heitson will start also against Bulgaria for Spain or the World Cup qualifiers, and then you may in that competition. And so I'm very interested when it comes to the World Cup qualifying matches now. It's very, very good to see how things are going to go on from there. Other goals scored this evening for Football Club Real or assisted this evening for Football Club Real Madrid. Mbappe, in a pre-match press conference in France, he has been asked about whether he will be a captain. What does it feel like for the Les Bleus? He have gained more experience, matured as a leader, understand some things even better, and try to be a unifier for the team. We need to leave space for every teammate. That's exactly what Mbappe can. He went and he says that I'm very happy to start a new season. We have everything we need to achieve great things. That is what Usman, I'm a branch friend Kiel Luton, Mbappe, Edi Unkomo, Ewahasi on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Guys, we need to draw the curtains on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much. Give me your reviews. Let me know exactly from you how things have been going on our new look. There are separate backgrounds, separate studios. This is one of them. There's one on my left. There's one on my right. And we'll do them. We'll soft touch it. It's going to be nicer. So subscribe and share the link. Thank you very much. I have Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you.